Oh, what's going on, guys? It's Josh with Deprived Productions, back with UE4, a fourth world development tutorial. In our last one, we created some slope-based materials, and in this one, we're going to make some snowy mountaintops. But we're going to create our slope-based material first, and then add that snow to it. So it's going to be a height-based material on top of our slope-based material, so some snow. So get ready. I got this terrain here I totally used the height map for, because I'm not very good at molding them. I'm not very good at anything. Anyway, F11 to get out of here, and let's go ahead and right-click because I'm in my DP folder. And I'll create a material, and I'm gonna name it the letter L. That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna go ahead and drag it onto my landscape. All right, guys, so let's get started. Snowy mountaintops. Let's double click. It's gonna pull it into the second window because UE4 knows how we do by now, I would hope. But there we go, it's black and that's bad. All right, so let's get started. Now what we're gonna do is the same thing we did in the third tutorial really quickly. So let's get our vector parameters real quick and blend them based off the slope. Okay, so hold the letter L and get our first one, vector parameter, name it grass. You know what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and make it the color green, a little greenish color, like not too bright, but not too dark. You know what I'm saying? We'll hold the letter V and get. Hold the letter V again. I apologize, and get some. We'll name it dirt. We'll name this one dirt because again, and the reason we're making all these parameters is because we may want to change this, and we're probably going to change this, especially like the snow parameters. All right, let's create one more. Right, rock. You know what I'm talking about? And rock is kind of like almost not like a black, but a pretty dark gray. You know what I'm talking about? Like, about right there is pretty good, right? Now, we got our three parameters here, and we just need to take the slope of the material and make them change, just like we did in the last tutorial. So let's do it real quick. Let's right-click and type in world align. Oh, there it is, world align blend. Perfect. Now, we need two parameters, or two at least constants for now. We'll just hold the number 1 and grab them and plug these in. Again, we could make these parameters so we could change the blend sharpness and the blend bias in the instance the way we want to, but we're just going to keep it simple for now. Now, we want to set these up. This one's 50, okay? And this one's -21, and this is basically me just using the parameters from the last tutorial. I'm going to literally grab all three of these, Control-C, Control-V, and I have them again. Except this one now is going to be -19. Now, I'll show all this to you in just a minute after I find my minus button. Found it. All right, so let's drag all this back because now we got to do some lerping. Now, for y'all that don't remember, let me walk you through what's going on here. Hold the letter L and grab a lerp. Okay. What happens here is this is the blend or the line node based off, the slope. So you can plug the alpha into the alpha, but the only reason I use this is because eventually or typically you would use normal maps and textures and stuff like that. We're just doing colors to keep it simple for you guys, but honestly, you would want to do this with realistic textures and stuff like that and normal maps to really make it look pretty. So go ahead and plug that into that. And all we do is literally we plug this into our base color. Okay. And you'll see here, without any collars plugged in, you'll see based off the slope and the blend bias, it changes it like this. So I want the grass to be on I want the dirt to be on the top, and I want the grass to be on the bottom because you want the grass to be the white, which is on the top, okay? So as you can tell, you got the grass, which is basically all the way to this slope. But if the mesh slopes more than that, it's going to make it brown. You know what I'm talking about? So what we'll do is now we'll grab another lerp. Talking about kind of lerping lerps. You ever lerped a lerp before? I'm going to lerp them. I'm going to lerp them all down. I'm going to lerp. I'm going to lerp. Here we go. We just plug this into B and plug the rock into A and plug the alpha of this one in here and plug this into base color. And you'll notice now the gray, the rock, is going to take over. But there's a little brown. You're like, well, how'd you do that? Well, these parameters right here, man. At this -19, the bias is a little bit lower than the dirt was over here. So it kind of, once again, toy with these parameters, but that's it. We actually just literally created, oh, wait. I got to do something. I get a little nervous. I ain't going to lie, I get mad. What's going to happen is, metal. It's the metal thing, man. I get really weird about it. I hold the number 1 and I always plug this in the metal and I make sure it's set to 0. I'm going to tell you why. If you don't know why, I hope you know why. But if you don't, I'm going to tell you why. It's because a terrain doesn't have any metal in it. There's no metal in grass or rock or dirt. There's none. There isn't any. You know what I mean? It's not metal. It's not metal. Let's let this load up. Boom. We got our terrain here. We got a little grass. We got a little dirt before it goes to the rock for the real thick slopes. And this is what we did in the third tutorial. So boom. Real quick, just recreated this. A little different. You know what I'm talking about? But real quick, right click, create our material instance. We got it right here. And y'all know what that means. We can drag and drop it onto our landscape. And we can double click. Actually, you know what I'll do now is I'll grab this and move this window over so we got all kind of room here. You know what I'm talking about? Because I'm going to double click this bad baby. I'm going to move it down here to where I can kind of see what we're doing with it. I don't want to get lost. And here we go. We got our three parameters that we've created. Just like we did in the last tutorial, we can change the color to make it look stupid. Okay, so anyway, the point is we'll close that. And what's awesome is when we make changes I might want to save that. I'm not 100% sure, but when we make changes in this master material, it will update to the material instance so we continue changing in there. So let's get started on this snow sun. We're gonna need a couple things. I ain't gonna lie. We're gonna need one more vector parameter. I'm gonna tell you that, and you probably know what it's gonna be called, bruh. You know what it's gonna be called? Snow. You know what color it's gonna be? You don't know? You're not sure what color it's going to be? I'm about to tell you. It's going to be white because you can't be scared because snow's white sometimes. Unless it's yellow, then you better stay away from it. Now, what we're going to need to do is we need to do some stuff with this. So we're going to move this on. We're going to move down here, okay? Now, what we need is I need you to type in world position and get the absolute world position node. So what we have is the whole world here. The whole world of this node, but we all need to go up and down. The material needs to go up and down. So we need to mask it on the Z. Well, XYZ is kind of the same as RGB. Okay, so basically if I got RGB here, I can just mask out the blue, and it's kind of like masking out the Z, a vector, a color, whatever. They're kind of the same. So here we go. We have the Z axis, and what we're going to do is we're going to drag a line off of it, and we're going to type in subtract. Oh, is that it? That wasn't it. Let's try again. SUB, subtract. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just grab out of there like that and try doing it like that. Oh, I almost had it. I saw it. Now here's the thing. We want to take a number and subtract this from it. So I could hold the number 1, but we actually want to be able to affect this. So hold the letter S for a scalar parameter, okay? And I'm going to name this snow height. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this into the top here, okay? So now we have a number here that we can change, and it'll change the height of the material. That's exactly what this is going to do. I'm going to set it to 3,000 for right now, okay? Now, to adjust the sharpness of the blend between those two, we need to divide. So right-click and type in divide. Exactly what we need here. Don't make sure you spell it right. There it is. Boom, divide. Now, plug this into the top of this one. And again, we need a second scalar parameter. Again, it could just be a number, but let's be able to change it over time. So let's plug it in here, and let's name it Snow Blend, maybe? Is that good? Y'all like that? Snow Blend? And I'll leave it at 0 for now. Now, the only thing I need to do now is really simply, I need to clamp. And what that means is it can't go any lower or higher than these two numbers. Well, it's naturally set to 0 and 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave it between 0 and 1. Okay, that's what we're going to do, and that's it. We're done. But the thing is, what do we do with all this? You're like, where is it? What's happening? It's simple. I got everything here we did. World position, mask it out on just the Z. We got our height that we subtract it from. We got our blend that we divide it with, and then we lerp all of this. So actually, don't even do that. Hold the letter L. Plug this into the alpha. You know what I'm talking about? Now we got our snow here. So we're gonna plug this into the top, I think, and this into the bottom. And I might be wrong. I think the snow may need to go into the top. Oh, we're about to find out, son. I'm going to plug this into base color. Let's go outside and see how bad it is. You know what I'm talking about? See how bad we messed it up, huh? You ever mess it up? Because I mess it up all the time, guys. I mess it up all the time. Literally, all the time. Oh, let's go out here and look at it and see what happens and see what happens and see what happens and see what happens, and we see nothing. And I'm going to tell you, oh, look, it's on the bottom. Do you know what that means? They're backwards. They're backwards. So pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to literally get rid of these. I'm going to plug this into the top and plug this into the bottom. Let's save it again. You know what I'm talking about? Got a little boo-boo there. You see that? What I did there with the boo-boo? Okay, so we're going to go back now. Let's let it load up again and see if it works. See all kind of, oh God, look how much, there's too much snow. It's pretty much what's going on. But you can see a very harsh line there. But hey, check it out. Double click on the material instance and drag it over here where we can kind of see it. And now we've got a couple more parameters. We've got our snow, just in case we want to change it to a blue color, which I wouldn't recommend. But we got our snow blend and our snow height. So let's toy around with it, okay? So the height's set to 3,000, right? Let's change that to 6,000. See what happens if I change it to 6,000. Oh, 10,000. That's it. It's 10,000. Okay. We got now again. It's a really straight line. It doesn't look very great, but we're adding a little snow. We're getting started. We're getting a beginning on it, brah. We're getting it started. Now that blend is set to 0, but that's set to 500. You see what's going on there? Kind of blended a little bit. 1,200, 2,500. It's a little bit of a blend there, and then I can change this up to maybe like 11,000 and bring it up a little bit. Okay, so now it's kind of blending into the world. I'll make that even better. I'm gonna say 4,000 and 13,000. It's kind of like setting it to like a, Yeah, it's kind of like blending into it like that. I like that, okay? That ain't bad. That's not a terrible look. But you know what? The only problem with all this is, and this is cool. We got it working. You know what I'm saying? We could sit here and toy with these collars for a while. I'll save it, you know what I'm saying, and jump out of here and F11 and look at it. But the thing is, guys, the one thing that just really bothers me is this straight line. You see that line? I mean, I'm not the only guy that sees that line. You know, there's a line. There's a line there. You know, so as much as that height material is really neat that we've added, and literally it's procedurally generated. We don't even have to paint that. It's done. And it makes life a lot easier. We can make it look just a little bit better. And that's exactly what we're about to do. So double click and go back in. Now, I want you to grab all this stuff here, except for the lerp, and drag it on down. And what we're going to do is we're going to change. We're going to take this snow height out. Take it out. So here's what we need, actually. We're gonna give ourselves a little more room here, bruh. Okay? We're a little more room, bruh. Okay? A little more room. Don't argue with me. Now, here's what we need. We need to actually get a lerp. Okay? So hold the letter L. And I want you to plug this into this, okay? And I'm actually going to grab, if you have the starter content, I'm gonna go into the window. I'm gonna create a content browser, and I'm gonna grab the macro. As you can tell, I've already typed it in, but if you type in macro, you'll get a macro variation, okay? And I'm gonna actually plug this into alpha right here. I'm gonna drag it down here, make sure it doesn't look all crazy. Now, the thing about this is it's gonna ask for 2 parameters, and the thing is, if it's the white channel, it's gonna need 2 vectors. Well, we don't wanna do that. Let's use the red channel, because it's only black and white anyway. That way we can create 2 scalar parameters, 1 and 2, and we can rename them. One will be, we'll just name them, check this out. We'll name them snow height 1, okay? And that's it, just plug that in there. And then we'll name this one snow height 2, I think. Yeah. Let's just make our life simple. Snow height 1 and snow height 2. Oh God, I think I spelled something wrong there. Now, we had them set pretty high, didn't we? So actually, let's go ahead and set these to the same number. Let's set them to 8,000 and 8,000. So they're gonna be the same thing. But what I'm actually doing is, I'm going to lerp this, whether it's white or black, over these 2 collars. Now, right now they're set the same, so it doesn't matter. You won't see anything. Now, here's one issue we're going to have immediately, is if we use this is really, really, really textured. Now, we could use a texture coordinate and tile it out because the landscape's huge, but check this out. This is texture coordinate. You've seen me use this several times. Oh, let me type it in and try it again. You've seen me use the texture coordinate node. You can literally type it in and set your tiling, but check this out. Type in landscape. I think it is. Landscape. Oh, wait. And you'll see a landscape layer coordinates. Now, what that is literally the exact same thing, except it's just one number. And the higher it is, the higher this is, the smaller you scaled it. Actually, the bigger you, the wider, the more you stretch it. I could just set it to 100, and boom, that's kind of like using a texture coordinate and setting both values to like 0.01. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little easier to calculate. Anyway, let's save this and go out and look at it. And it's going to be a little confusing at first, so let me show you what's going on. We're going to have to open up our material instance, and we're going to actually use that noise map, this map here, to kind of make the snow kind of not look so straight. Now, of course, it looks straight right now because they're the same numbers. So let's double click on our material instance because you know how we do it. And let's not drag it up there. Let's drag it right about here and move it over here. Now, what I've got is my snow blend, my snow height, and my snow height. They're both set to 8,000, right? What happens if I set this to 4,000? Watch. Oh, what is that? What is going on right there, son? You know what I'm talking about? Make it kind of look like it's got a little bit of a texture to it before it shows up. Now, I'm just getting started. Let's say this is a little bit too much. Let's go to 12,000. Okay, so it's now that's way up there. So it's, you know, maybe the top is at 15,000, and it's really just starting to show up way down here, and boom. And by the time you get to the top, it's beautiful. And now you could still go in and like adjust this blend the way you want it. You know what I'm saying? You could make it continually blend and set this down even lower or higher or whatever, like maybe like a 8,000. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, if you really wanted to toy with it, I'd say it probably a good look. I would set this to about 5,000. I would set this to about 15,000, which is where it's at, and I would set this to about 12,000. And boom, you got yourself some snowy mountains. And not only do they have some snowy mountains, but they got like some little textured sides. You know what I'm talking about? Makes it look like the snow's kind of happening on there, kind of like leaking off the sides of them mountains. You know what I'm talking about? You could obviously adjust that and have some fun with it. But now when I F11 and fly around, I got some snowy mountains. And again, the blend's not perfect because you actually don't want to see that noise. So really toy with that. In fact, if you turn the blend, if you go back in here and we open it back up and you take the blend and set it to 0. Oh God, don't do that. Let's set it to 12,000. Oh God, you can see that it's starting to do that. But if the thing is, if I set it back to 5,000 and I toy with these numbers just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You'll slowly start to see that we have different options. 5,000, we'll bring it down a little further, and then I could obviously crank this up even higher. You know what I'm saying? But as you can see, the higher I crank that number, the more that black that's kind of coming out. So let's say I set this to 5,000, okay, and then I set this to 1,000. Well, you'll see now that it's lower down there, but it has that look. So, guys, toy with these numbers. Have some fun with it. I'm going to set it back to what I like, which is 15,000. And I'd say 10,000 is something I really like. And, guys, this is just the beginning. I'm just kind of toying around with it. You may want to mess with this a little bit, but still, you got like a way of starting to get the snow to kind of fade in and out of itself instead of having just like a, oh, get out of there. Instead of just having like a straight line. Getting rid of the line, guys. Making it look a little better, a little more natural. So not only did we learn about height-based materials on top of our slope-based materials, but we figured out how to make it to where the line isn't so rigid. We can adjust the sharpness, we can adjust the height, we can adjust exactly how powerful this noise map is, and you guys could really even add more parameters and have a blast with it. But here we go. Snowy Mountaintops, procedurally generated. We didn't have to paint them. We didn't have to sit here for 3 hours and try to do all kind of fine details like that. It's done for us. So jump in and have some fun. This is freaking awesome. A sweet, sweet skill. I've learned a lot of cool stuff working with the world development stuff, and I have a bunch of new cool stuff. Can't wait to show you guys. But guys, I know this is kind of a long tutorial, but I love you. I miss you. I want to be on you. It's Josh with Deprived Productions, and I hope you subscribe to the Deprived Productions Facebook page or the YouTube channel and the Facebook page. You need to go hit up Deprived on SoundCloud right now. You need to go hit up Deprived on Bandcamp right now. You need to like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and get all that stuff going because we got tutorials and music everywhere, videos, video games, and all kind of other stuff coming out. Free content, promo videos. You guys got to hit it up, man. UE4, Blender, Pro Tools, all kinds of other stuff, Axe Effects, and everything. This is what we do, man. We love you guys. We miss you guys. Y'all have been great. Thanks for all your help. We're having a blast. We got some more stuff to do. Holler at me if you need any help, or if you have an idea for a tutorial that you need, a request. I've done a couple. I'd be more than happy to do another one. I'm here for you guys. If y'all are here for me, kinda, I think. I don't know. But the point is, love y'all, miss y'all, man. I'll see y'all next time. I got a jet. If you have any questions, give me a shout. If not, peace.